Well, hi, it's Jeremy again. This video here is going to involve have 5 abdominal exercises that you can do. I find them to be very effective, and you're really going to get a lot out of these ones. So these are some of my favorite abdominal exercises to really shape and tone the midsection. The first exercise I'm going to show you I call the reverse crunch with a fixed arm position. What you're going to do is you're going to lay down on the mat. You're going to grab onto the bar here. You can also hold onto a couch or some other heavy object, something kind of non-movable to do this. And what you're going to do is you're going to lay down, raise the legs up in the air, and you're going to lower the legs out a little bit, then bring them in and squeeze up at the top. So you're going to lower out, bring them in, squeeze up at the top. You're going to almost act like you're lifting the bar. So you're putting some pressure into that bar as you're going through the entire thing. So when the legs are farthest out, that's when actually the most pressure is going to be pushing onto that bar with your hands. So almost like you're trying to lift it up in the air. Make sure your lower back stays pressed into the mat the whole time while you do these. Probably about 15-20 of these, you're probably going to be pretty tired. If you're doing them really well, you might even get tired at 10. So this is what they look like here. So you grab on, legs up, put some pressure on that bar, lower the legs out, keeping the lower back on the ground, squeeze in, squeeze out. Come out, come in, squeeze out. So you're trying to lift that tailbone off the ground just a little bit. To finish that off, more challenging is lower your legs out a little bit farther and not swing them in too much. So we don't want to generate too much of a swing back, because then the abdominals really aren't doing that much. So really those arms are helping a lot. There's tension all through the body on the front side here. So that's one of my favorite ab exercises. We'll move on to the next one. Another one of my favorite abdominal exercises is going to use your exercise ball and the wall. What you're going to do is you're going to set up, putting your hip right on the ball, your leg that's on the bottom there, so you're going to be facing a certain direction, so there's only one hip on there, turning sideways. And the leg that's on the bottom needs to be in front of you, and the leg that's on top is going to be back behind you. The farther apart the feet are on the wall, the easier it is to keep your balance during this one. So the hand that's towards the ball, you're going to reach around and grab the obliques. These are the muscles that we're working. Swiss ball oblique crunch. The other hand is going to go behind the head. This is going to be kind of a gauge of how well you're stretching and crunching. So what you're going to do is keep the hips still, reach out, and then crunch back up. Come out, crunch back up. Keeping the ball still, so I'm not generating a lot of rolling around on the ball. I'm just tipping out, squeezing up. Ooh, yeah. You can already feel that a little bit. So right in there. Just a good handful of these will probably do you pretty good. So 10, 15, if you're getting up there, getting really strong, you may even get into the 20, 25 range, possibly. To make this harder, you can take both hands overhead. Oh boy. Because now it increases the amount of weight that's over this way, so it makes it a little bit harder. Oh, ooh, a great one. So that's one of my favorites. Let's move on to the next one. Well, here's the next favorite. This one I like to call the secret agent crunch. Kind of a silly name, but a great exercise. But I think it really shows what it's like though. So for this one, you're going to set up, you're going to lay down on the mat, resting all the way back. You're going to take the hands together and make a gun. I don't know, see that? Here. Put your fingers together. That's what makes it the secret agent crunch. So you're going to hold those up in the air. Feet stay down. You're going to crunch up. Kind of point the gun away there. Then you're going to turn to the side, keeping that back shoulder off. Back to middle, to the other side. Again, keeping the back shoulder off. Back to middle, squeezing good and high, and then coming back down. And then I'll come back up again. Side, middle, and down. Try not to go too fast as you do that. Try to take some good time, good solid squeeze at each place. If you find that you're one of those people that likes to rush, you might have to hold it for about 2 seconds at each place. So the secret agent crunch, really good for straight along the sides, but also the obliques too. So down the middle, obliques, it's a good burn. You'll feel it right away. So that's one of my favorites. Let's move on. We've got 2 more, I think. So See you for the next one. The next crunch, very similar, start off as a secret agent crunch, but is what my base crunch. This is where I like to do a lot of work. I work with a lot of people on this one. It keeps the back in a pretty safe position and gets a lot of great work in the abdominals. So I call this one the tuck crunch, basically because you're going to be tucking up into a ball. So you're going to lay on your back on the mat, just getting right back in there. You're going to lift your feet off the ground there, bringing the knees in, keep it pressing that lower back into the mat there. Just want to keep that pressed in. We're not going to let the legs travel too much on this one. We're going to keep them pretty still. You're going to take your fingertips behind the ears or cross the arms in front, and we're going to be crunching up, touching the elbows to the thighs. If you find that you're a head puller, you like to pull on your head a lot, don't put your hands by your head. Try the arms crossed in front there and squeeze up. Now you want to try to do a little bit of both. If you see a little bit of movement in my legs, that's to get a little bit of the lower abdominals working too. So I'm crunching both here. Up, straight, crunch. My lower back is staying down the whole time. Now to finish these off, you can always do a couple small ones at the end to get that extra little burn. Then a good pause and a squeeze. That's some good work. So that works. The better you push the lower back down, the more it gets on the sides, but it works just about everything in those abdominals. So really good base crunch there. Make sure the lower back stays down, and we'll just have fun with that. So we got one more abdominal exercise to go. So here's the last exercise. This one's in a slightly different position, but trust me, it is an abdominal exercise. This one I call the slow mountain climber with a twist. So we're working right in the front of the abs, but also a lot on the sides. So you're going to set up right into push-up position. Okay, so up on the toes, we keep the back good and straight. Weight shifted forward. We're not doing this guy here. We're right over the arms. What you're going to do is you're going to swing the knee up and touch the knee to the opposite elbow, and come back, come up, come back. So you're going to squeeze in there, pause at the farthest end, and bring it back. Squeeze in, go back. If you want to go a little more advanced, you can even reach that knee outside of the elbow. So you go way wider than that elbow. But try to get the touch. That's a tough one to get. It's tough to get that touch. Tough to get that place. That one you're probably not going to be able to do quite as many as some of the other exercises, but aim to do at least 10 while you're doing that, and probably see if you can get into the 20 times. A little bit harder on the wrists maybe, but some great work, and it can change up the effect on the abdominals. So those are my 5 favorite abdominal exercises. I do have a lot more, as people when they're training with me know that just about every time I talk I go, ooh, this is one of my favorites, and ooh, this is one of my favorites as we go through the workout. So I like a lot of these things. So those are 5 really good ones. Now I may not, if I was working with you, I may not recommend these particular exercises. So be careful when you're doing them, because they may not be the best exercise for you. So always talk to your doctor, make sure you're in good health and ready for physical exercise before you try any of this stuff. But if you are, give it a go, have some fun, and get some great abs. Let me know how they go. Alright, have fun, be safe.